All right, y'all, so I am Misty. This is Dinner on a Dime. We are back in the kitchen and we are getting started on doing some bulk prep meal stuff, right? I keep telling y'all, if you'll take the time to bulk prep when you can, it takes a lot of work and a lot of guessing out of future meals. So the first thing I'm gonna show you, I went ahead and prepped up last night. I needed to go ahead and get it cut up. This is 2 stalks of celery that I cut up into pieces and put into baggies that I am going to freeze. This will be used for things like homemade andouille. It's kind of like a chicken and sausage soup. It's not quite a gumbo or stuffing or different things that we make that we put celery in. So the 2 big stalks of celery gave us 6 bags. Again, all I did was cut this up, put it in bags, and that is going in the freezer. The next thing is HEB had the big split chicken breast again for 99 cents a pound. I picked up 4 packages. 4. So we are going to roast all of this chicken over today and tomorrow. I don't want it to be as spicy as what I made last time because I will use that in meals that aren't necessarily for kids. And then this one, I'm just going to use a milder blend of spices on. That way it won't be so hot. Yep. My packages are 4.99 pounds, so $4.94, and then 4.97 pounds for $4.92. So these 2 I'm going to go ahead and get in the oven at 350 degrees, and I'm going to let them cook until they are done. Then they are going to sit in the fridge overnight, just like they are. Then I will pull all the meat off the bones and get it into bags that go in the freezer. So you can see I'm going to have this prepped in the freezer. I'm going to have this prepped in the freezer. And that's a great way to get some meals prepped ahead of time so that you don't have to do all the prep work on your work nights, okay? Because I don't want to come home from work and have to take the time to roast chicken. That's not something I want to do. So this is not the only thing we're doing in this video either, okay? We are sticking to meal prep stuff, but we're not just doing this chicken. We are doing other things. So these are some much bigger pieces of chicken than what I got last time. So I'm anticipating that this is going to be a lot more meals worth of chicken once it's cooked and ready to go. So what we're gonna do, I didn't get everything out yet, go figure. Axton, will you get me the oil out, please, of the pantry? I'm going to grab this. We're gonna rub these with oil, just like we did in the last video that I showed you how to do. Oil? Yes, sir, that'll be just fine. Any type of oil will work. So just like I did last time, I'm just gonna peel these skins back because I want to be able to get to the meat underneath. That's where I want all of my flavor to go, right, Axton? Yeah, especially if you're gonna just take everything off the bone and you're only gonna save like the meat anyways, make sure you're getting all that flavor on the bone. Now I still want the skin intact to put back on top. I just don't want all my flavor to be primarily in the skin.
On the skin.
So can you get me a small bowl? One of those little bitty colored bowls.
Yes, I can
like
do that.
Like the purple, blue, pink type bowls. Thank you.
Yes.
Because we're gonna put some oil in it so that I can rub my oil on the chicken. Like I said, I don't want this one to be as spicy as the others. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna make a quick blend of equal parts salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. And that is what we're gonna use on these chicken breasts. The other one's great, don't get me wrong, and it will totally get used, all of it in the house. But the problem there is it was a little too spicy for a certain little boy. And so we are trying to make sure we're accommodating his taste as well as our own.
Who?
You.
Oh.
So there's our Italian seasoning. Grabbing the salt and pepper. I'm gonna get me a plate to mix it on real quick. And again, to show you how quick and easy this is, okay? This is how quick and easy it's gonna be to throw this chicken together. A little bit of oil in here. All I'm gonna do is brush my chicken with it.
Whatever oil.
I use olive oil, I use vegetable oil, I use canola oil. I am not partial to any one particular oil at all. Right, Axton?
Yep. We do not care what oil.
We don't necessarily care what oil we're using. That's right.
Yep.
But if you do, then use the one that is your preference. Right, Axton. So all I'm going to do on this plate is I'm going to put approximately equal parts of salt.
Oh yeah.
Next to Italian seasoning, next to pepper. That's all I'm doing on this plate. Because again, I'm not trying to make this one super spicy. And then I'm literally just gonna mix this up with my hand.
I love this one.
Yeah, because we're not trying to make it spicy. We're just trying to make it taste good, right?
And I love mild.
And remember, whatever you cook this in later, it's going to take on those flavors too, right? So I'm not looking for a huge flavorful payout with this. You could add tarragon. You could add, if you want to do Mexican style chicken, you could add some cumin instead of, the Italian seasoning. Last time I added extra oregano. I've added extra paprika, extra chili powder. It really, do whatever blend you want to do, right? That's kind of the name of the game. Axton, go ahead and show them what you got at the museum.
So, wait, don't show this one.
While he's showing you that, you can watch me put herbs on chicken. How
So,
about that? Super fancy.
I got ketchup and mustard.
Tell them what it is, though. It's not actually ketchup and mustard.
It's Crazy Aaron's freaking putty. And its name is ketchup and mustard.
There you
go. And you can color change it too.
All right, it's color changing putty. Yep.
Yeah, these are amazing. And the other one I can happily open finally because my mom she opened it.
They're a little tough to open because the packages are kind of sticky and stuff. So they're not super easy.
So this is what it looks like inside. But I can't really open the other one because it's pretty hard.
Yeah, we'll have to have Daddy help with that one.
So this is mini Finky Putty, Crazy Aaron's, yep. Funky, the name is Funky Fidget.
Funky fidget powder or slime or
or putty.
Whatever you want to say.
See, this is what it looks like inside. And I'll show you my other one. It wasn't from the museum, but I know I got it a long time ago.
Yeah, you've had the other one.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing while he's showing you that is I'm just sprinkling all of this yummy flavor onto all of this chicken. Okay, that's all I'm doing. You're not missing anything, I promise. See, no tricks in the kitchen. Right, Axton?
Yep.
Do we do tricks in our kitchen?
No.
Or do we show you exactly what we do?
Show you how the exact same.
Yeah, show you exactly what we're doing.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing.
This is Crazy Aaron's Finky Buddy, so and it's Twinkling Tree. I know it's probably backwards, but still, it's Twinkling Tree.
Twinkling Tree. Cool.
Yep. I haven't opened this one yet, but I know this one was West Texas.
Yep.
This is
All right,
what it
guys.
looks like.
So there's our 2 pans of chicken. I am not going to worry about seasoning the skin because, again, I will be removing that when I pluck all of this meat off the chicken. So this is going to go into the oven. It is earlier in the day. It's only 4 o'clock. I'm going to get this chicken cooked first. That way other things can get cooked next. Okay? Keeping it going. Keeping it simple here. So I am going to stop the video here. I am going to go throw my bags of celery into the freezer. Yep. Then I'm going to come back and we are going to start prepping our next thing that we're going to end up throwing in the freezer. Only one thing that we're doing today, we will use for today. I will tell you what it is when we get there. How about that, Axton? Yep. What do you think? While we're in a good spot, 9 minutes in, what are we supposed to remind everybody to do?
What?
What should they do if they're new to the channel?
Like
the video and
subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button and ring the
notification
bell. That way you get notified when there's new videos going up. So again, this video is revolving around bulk batching, bulk prepping of food. So we will be back and we'll get started on our next project. So
Peace.
we'll see you soon. All right, y'all, I'm back. We're gonna get started on the next thing that we are prepping because I need to get this mixed up and start baking them as soon as possible. Our chicken is done. I just pulled it out of the oven and it is now 5:42 p.m. and I need to get this started so that we can have dinner tonight because part of this is gonna be for dinner. This is 5 pounds of hamburger meat. I've literally just put it in the bowl. Why did I buy hamburger meat, you might be asking? Well, because I wanted to bulk prep meatballs. I love making homemade meatballs, and so that is what we're doing tonight. I pulled out my homemade meatball recipe and I just multiplied it by 5 pounds of meat because it was $1.99 a pound at HEB the other night, and my camera is very crooked. Hold on, let's see if I can straighten you guys up a little bit. There we go, maybe that'll be better. So it was $1.99 at HEB when I went to get the chicken. That's like an unheard of price these days. And so I went ahead and stocked up on hamburger for batch prepping meatballs. So again, this is 5 pounds of hamburger here. Tonight I will use some of the meatballs because I am going to make homemade meatball subs. That's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. We do have company over, so if you feel like I'm kind of rushing this part of the video, I'm sorry. Just trying to get this done while they're doing an oil change in the garage, and then that way they can come in and hang out and not feel like they're forced to be on camera, because I don't do that with people that aren't in my family, right? Not that I force my family on camera either, but I would certainly not force someone who isn't even a member of my family to be on camera either. Okay, so we got our 5 eggs there. All right, and then we are going to start mixing in everything else. So breadcrumbs, we're gonna need 2. So for 5 pounds of meat, we need 5 eggs, okay? We need 2.5 cups of breadcrumbs. For tonight, I am using Winco seasoned breadcrumbs because that is what I had on hand, and I'm all about using up what's already open and available in my house. So 2.5, let's say that's about 2.5 cups of breadcrumbs. The reason I'm already have my gloves on is I'm going to be using my hands to mash all of this together here in just a few minutes. All right, Parmesan cheese. We are also going to use about 2.5 cups. Okay, so I'm going to do, that's about 1 cup. I may do it a little light on the cheese because I'm not an overly cheesy person when it comes to my meatballs, because I am also going to put cheese on top because I'm going to put provolone cheese on top. Okay, so there you go, 2.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. Then we're gonna get into the seasonings, okay? We're done with that. I am not going to show you making the meatball subs tonight. All I'm going to do is roll the meatballs, put them in the oven, and then I'm going to do the cheese on the top of them once I toast them. All right, so I'm gonna get started on adding the rest of the seasonings. Basil, you're just gonna do it to your taste. I am just going to sprinkle a little bit of basil in. That is plenty. Italian seasoning, you're going to need 3 teaspoons of Italian seasoning to do the 5 pounds of meatballs. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, for pepper, same thing. 3 teaspoons of pepper. I'm gonna pop the lid off just to make it super fast. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then for our salt, we're gonna need a little more salt. So we're gonna do 5 teaspoonfuls of salt. And that again is for our 5 pounds of hamburger. So 1, 2, 3, that was a little over 3, so we'll do that one a little under. 4 and 5. Okay, so then next we're gonna do garlic and onion. Now, for garlic, I will say this, season, my recipe is gonna call for 3 teaspoons of garlic. I would also say season to your heart's content on the garlic. I am pretty close to finishing up this jar of garlic. And so there's no point in me putting it back in the fridge with just a little bit of garlic in it. And so we are going to use all of the garlic that I can get out of this container, because that will allow me to open up a fresh one. And this one's been in there a hot minute. This is from Members Mark. I'm not sure where the expiration date even is on this. Oh, on the bottom. So this was best if used by May of this year. Close enough. We made it to July. All right. So I'm going to put that spoon away. Now, onion. This recipe that I used in the past called for a lot of onion. My family does not like chopped up big pieces of onion in their food. So I found this easy onion. It's kind of like jarred garlic, except it's onion. And it's great because it's very minced up and it's hard for them to find in recipes, and it cooks down really well. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of onion to it. I'm not going to add a lot because I don't want to overwhelm them with onion, because I know that's not their favorite thing, right? So there's no point in me doing that, or they won't eat it all. So I'm going to just toss these in the fridge for right now. I'll put them in their actual homes later. Just trying to get some of the stuff out of my way as we start making our meatballs here. So I thought that the guys were coming in. That's why I stopped the video, but they are running back to Walmart, I think. So my husband bought the wrong kind of oil for my oil change. Cannot believe it. So anyways, I'm just gonna start mashing all of this together. My bowl is probably not quite big enough, so I'm gonna have to be careful as I start to do this. Probably would have been better mixing this in an even larger pot, but I don't think I have anything bigger than this, to be honest. This is my biggest Pyrex bowl that I have. Pretty sure that's the biggest thing I have, period, on hand. So I'm just gonna do it carefully. I'm gonna try not to make a mess. Try to get this liquid incorporated into it on the top, because that will help it start to get more moldable and get those dry ingredients mixed in, right? Then the little bit of cheese that fell over the edge, I can pick that up and put it back in because my counter's clean, so it's fine. Isn't your counter clean at all times in your house? Sure, my counter's clean at all times in my house. So what I was saying is I am making homemade meatball subs tonight. So once the first batch of these meatballs comes out, I will get them into some sauce, let them soak up some of that flavor. I bought just a package of on clearance ciabatta buns that we're going to use as our buns. And we're gonna put provolone cheese on it to get it all melty and delicious. That's why I was saying a few minutes ago, I don't go super heavy on the cheese inside of the meatballs, because I know I'm going to add the provolone cheese on top. And then the ones that really love Parmesan are going to sprinkle Parmesan on top anyways. Oh no, now the counter's dirty. So we will have to clean it because it had meat touch it, and that I will clean for sure. So I'm just mixing up all of this. You can see I didn't really make that big of a mess out of it. I'm actually kind of proud of myself considering how small my bowl was. I'm just gonna keep mixing it until everything is incorporated, and then I'm going to start the process of rolling meatballs and getting them in the oven. I'm going to cook them at the same temperature that I cooked the chicken. I have it at 400 degrees. I originally set my chicken temp to 350, but I was afraid of how long it was gonna take to cook, considering that I needed to do the meatballs tonight as well. So I did increase it to 400. Then I took Axton to karate, and then I came back and started the process of doing the meatballs. So that's where we're at. It's a busy night. I normally would not try to do this on a weeknight. However, as you saw in my post, if you're following the post that I put on the page, we had a busy weekend. We went to the dirt track races on Saturday night. Then on Sunday, we took our kids to the Perot Museum, and then we met my parents for dinner in Dallas. So it was just a busy weekend. A great weekend, just a very busy one. And so now I get to play catch up because I bought this meat and I gotta do something with it, right? I bought all this meat planning a bulk prep meal thing. And so can't just leave it sitting forever because it'll go bad on me, right? That would be really bad. We don't want that to happen. Okay, ooh, my gloves are coming off. What the heck? Why are you coming off, gloves? I don't want meat inside of my glove. Get out. All right. Just make a mess of everything. Why not? All right, this is getting pretty close to ready. I literally don't know why my gloves are like trying to get sucked into my meatballs here. All right. I guess it's just the weight of all the meatball ingredients. All right, I would say this is pretty consistent throughout. We don't have large chunks of cheese. We don't have large chunks of breading. We're at a pretty good consistency to start turning this into meatballs. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick up anything that's on the counter that needs to go back into our meatball mixture and just squish it in there. All right, so you see there's our meatball mixture. So what I'm going to do for cooking this is I'm gonna make my meatballs. I'm gonna cook them 2 trays at a time. I am going to spray the trays with some non-stick cooking spray because I don't want my meatballs to stick in the pans. All right, so there we go. I guess I'm gonna put on new gloves because those got sucked into the mixture and wouldn't stay on my hands anymore. So why not? The provolone cheese I got on sale at Kroger today because I didn't have any on hand for making meatball subs. I'll show you the rolls that I got. They are the Ace Ciabatta Picola buns, and you can see I got them on reduced for $2.40. So there are 5 of them. They're pretty decent size bun. The sauce I will use is just, as you've seen, I purchase all different types of spaghetti sauce. I buy it when it's on sale. And so whichever one is next in the cabinet will be the one that I do. No telling, no telling. We'll see. All right, that's about the size. I'm gonna make my meatballs and I'm just gonna start putting them in the pan. And then I'm going to bake them. I am going to bake them in the oven at 400 degrees until they reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees. After that, they will get put into the sauce and they will continue to cook as they, you know, sit in the sauce and absorb all that saucy flavor of the sauce. Then they're going to get put back on the buns with the cheese. And guess what? Then it's going back in the oven for it to toast up the cheese and the bun. Melt the cheese, toast the bun, right? So it is going to be well cooked. Not well cooked, not like overdone, right? But we know it's going to be done by the time it gets into our mouths, is my point, I guess. I think I took the long way to get there. My brain does that sometimes. We are not always firing on all cylinders around here, that's for sure. So anyways, I don't know exactly how many pans this is going to make. Again, it's 5 pounds of meat, and I do plan to stay up and make meatballs until I'm done making meatballs. So we'll let you know tomorrow how many meatballs this made, because we're not done. We've bulk prepped chicken that we're gonna take off the bone. We'll see how many meals we get out of that tomorrow. We'll see how many meals of meatballs we get, but we're not done. Oh, and we have the 6 meals worth of celery already prepped as well. So I have a whole nother 5 pounds of hamburger that we are going to bulk prep tomorrow. And I have 2 more packages of chicken that we're gonna do another way tomorrow to bulk prep for meals as well. So you see, this video is gonna be a long one because we're bulk prepping all different sorts of foods and we're making our life easier down the road. So this chicken, again, can be used for chicken enchiladas, chicken tetrazzini, chicken spaghetti, chicken quesadillas. You can do all sorts of things with it, okay? And that's what we do. We do all sorts of meals with it. The meatballs, we will do all sorts of meals with. We'll do spaghetti and meatballs. We'll do homemade meatball subs, which is what we're doing tonight. We will cut them up and put them on pizza like one of our local restaurants here does. We do lots of things with our meatballs. So yeah, so tomorrow night we'll show you what we're gonna do with the other 5 pounds of the hamburger meat and what we're gonna do with the other, probably close to another 8 to 10 pounds worth of chicken, right? And it's great because then guess what? On those busy weeknights, like tonight, where I got a lot going on and I got company over, it makes it so easy to make something for dinner. And tomorrow night, I probably won't cook. I'll be batch cooking, but I won't be cooking for dinner because we have our friend here and he's gonna be here for a few nights and we're gonna go out and enjoy a meal out with him. He is enjoying a homemade meal with us tonight because he is looking forward to having meatball subs with us tonight. So we do both when he's in town because he's probably going to be here a few days. He works with my husband and he's here to help with a project, and so I do imagine that we will do both home cooked meals as well as going out meals because that's kind of how we do. And we're already talking about maybe going to a Ranger game. So if we go to a Ranger game, that's definitely going to be an eat out meal. Because who wants to eat at home before you go to the ball game? You want to eat nachos or hot dogs or whatever the food is you like at a baseball game. So we'll see if we're going to do that. And then we'll decide what dinners are going to look like for this week. All right, I got 4 more meatballs here to make. And then this first batch is going to get into the oven. Then we are going to prep the side that's going with this dinner, because I'm also making a side to go with it. Because homemade meatball subs is great, but what are you gonna have on the side, right? We need something on the side. And I know I have potatoes, and I know I have seasoning, so we're gonna make roasted potatoes on the side to go with our meatball subs. Yeah, because I like to sign up for more than I should be doing on a weeknight. Why not? It's crazy. Never a dull moment. All right, 1 more, and then this first batch will head into the oven. The rest of this will just hang out here on the counter until these come out, because I'm gonna reuse my pans. Okay, I'm gonna transfer these onto like a liner tray, like a drying rack type tray, and we're going to reuse these pans. We're not gonna throw them out after just one use. All right, these are going into the oven. Again, 400 degrees, expecting they're going to take somewhere around 20 to 25 minutes to cook. So I will start a timer for 20 minutes. We'll test them out when we get close to that and see how it's going. 20 minutes. All right, y'all want to make some seasoned roasted potatoes? It won't be a bulk prep thing, but I'll teach you how to do it anyways. It's super easy. Gonna need a cutting board. Always need a cutting board. Luckily I have a couple because they would always be dirty if I didn't. Gonna need a bag of some sort of potatoes. Just happen to have these that have been hanging out in my fridge since I got back from vacation from North Carolina. So the whole time I've had this YouTube channel going, since I started posting videos, these have been in the fridge. And you can see they are totally fine. So they're getting used today. We're gonna need some oil. All right, go to the pantry, grab my oil, and we're gonna need some seasoning. Go to the counter, get seasoning. All right, and we're gonna need a baggie to put everything in to make it all happy together. And I think I'll just use one of these that says chicken on it because I made an extra one, so I might as well use it up. And we're gonna need a knife. All right, not expecting there to be a knife in here, and there's not. So we're gonna go behind you to the dishwasher because that's where the knives are. They're clean, they just haven't been put up yet. All right, got my knife, got my potatoes, open my potatoes. And we're gonna get started making these seasoned potatoes. This is one of my favorite things to make. They are super easy and they never go wrong. So all I'm going to do is have a runaway potato. We are going to cut them kind of into fours. Easy peasy. Don't cut your finger. I almost cut my finger cutting up that celery last night. I got real close. I was like, oh no, 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 no. These potatoes tonight, I think I'm going to throw in the air fryer because obviously the oven is already taken. And that way these will cook by the time our meatballs are done. Then we can have everything together. All right. So I am going to do this whole bag. There are 5 of us eating tonight. There's 5 sub rolls for the sandwiches, and then we will share this bag of potatoes amongst us. So this is definitely a low-cost dinner if you are smart on how you shop for your ingredients. If you're not, this meal can get super expensive in a hurry, because if you are buying, you know, $8.99 a pound hamburger meat instead of $1.99, it's going to be a lot more expensive. If you buy your potatoes when they're not on sale, these suckers are like $3.99 for this little bag. I only buy these when they are on sale, and that's what this was. It was like a boost deal. I got them way cheaper, like 99 cents a bag, so that's a good deal. That's when I buy them. I don't buy them when they're full price. The rolls can be very expensive if you don't buy them on clearance, or I also like, for non-clearance ones, I like the ones at Walmart. And the guys were at Walmart. I could have probably asked them to pick them up. My thought there was they might grab the wrong ones and it wouldn't be the ones I liked. The cheese I bought on sale at Kroger, I could have bought like name brand cheese and paid 3 times the price, but guess what? You're not gonna be able to tell what it is when it's on here. It's just gonna be delicious flavor, and so saves us some money buying the Kroger brand. You know, same thing with the pasta sauce that's going to, you know, we're gonna cook the meatballs in and then put on the buns. It's just whatever brand's on sale. I'm not brand specific, so I've got some Classico, some Ragu, some Prego, some Kroger brand, and some Hunts all hanging out in the pantry. They're all best friends in there. Everybody's hanging out together. Nobody's special. I'm gonna get rid of that potato. That one doesn't look so hot. All right. So you see how easy this is. This doesn't take a long time either, but it's so flavorful. And this is one of like everybody's favorite things. Everybody's always like, make your roasted potatoes. They're so good and they're so easy. So easy. I'm giving you the whole recipe right here. Promise. Like I said, there's no trickery on the channel. What you see me doing is what's literally going into the stove, and it's what's coming out and feeding bellies and keeping people happy. That's most important. Gotta keep these kids happy. Keep daddy happy, right? So my husband and I will celebrate our 18th wedding anniversary this year. And so today we booked a little getaway for December for just the 2 of us. I'm super excited about that. You know, as much as I love my kids and I absolutely adore my kids, going on vacation without them is sometimes very nice. It really is. Depends, but I'm excited for this trip. All right, that's about all the potatoes we're gonna be able to use. So about a half of a potato that wasn't worth using. Not bad, not bad. Especially not bad for something that comes from Kroger. I'm sorry, but Kroger's quality's been trash lately. At least my Kroger has. My Boost, you know, I have Boost, so I get the free delivery thing as long as it's like next day delivery, right? Well, it has gone like downhill a lot, fast. And so I was complaining to Kroger last year. I was like, hey, you know, the number of things that y'all are out of and stuff is ridiculous. They were like, don't worry. If you switch to the blue truck orders instead of Instacart, you won't have those issues, because those orders come from the warehouse. They don't come from a store. And so they were like, just change to the blue truck delivery. It'll come from the warehouse. It'll be picked right. You won't have all the it's gonna be glazed. Okay, so I always do the glue truck delivery. I have not had a single order that hasn't had an issue yet with my Boost membership in 2 years. 2 years, right? So you might be asking yourself, like, well, Misty, what kind of problems are you talking about? Is it really that bad? Yeah. To give you an example, this week the eggs were on deal, right? And so I bought 5 things of eggs because I make breakfast for the not the Camaro Club, the Classic Car Club once a month. Okay, so I use a lot of eggs for that. 3 out of the 5 packages of eggs were cracked. Like, a lot of them cracked. I bought my kids some popsicles because they were on sale. And I thought, I haven't been the fun mom all summer. I haven't bought them a single thing of popsicles or ice cream all summer. I will get them some of that. It was melted and refroze. Like, the packages were open inside of the box. I'm like, what in the world? So had to deal with that. Items that aren't priced correctly. Almost every single order, I have to get on with customer service and have them fix something that wasn't right. So it's frustrating to me because they do make it right, okay? They do a good job of making it right, but you shouldn't have to make it right every single time. That's my take on it. Like, you should just get the orders right sometime where the customer doesn't have to call you or IM you or whatever with a complaint every single time. But it is. It's literally every single time. So, I don't know. You know, my Boost just auto-renewed, so I'm kind of just like stuck with it because they will not refund you for your Boost. If you've already got it, you're stuck with it. They're not going to give you the money back. So, we'll see. I'm kind of sad too because they just put out a coupon for 50% off a Boost. But you can't use it if you're already a member. Well, you're not making it worth it to be a member, so you should give me the 50% off for keeping it. That's the way I look at it. Kind of feel like for keeping this, I should get the 50% off too. But it's okay. It is what it is. All right, there are our roasted potatoes. I just sprinkled a little more of the seasoning on top because potatoes can hold a lot of seasoning in these cube potatoes. And then I just sprayed the tops with a little oil to keep them crisp. And these are gonna go in the air fryer. All right. In the air fryer, I'm going to put them at 300. I don't need them cooking super fast because I've got to wait on the meatballs to get done anyways. So tonight's project, off-camera project, finish the meatball subs, serve those with the potatoes. That's going to be a hit. I know that's going to be a hit because this is a meal I've made many a times, not a problem. Get the rest of this formed into meatballs and into the fridge to chill tonight. That way tomorrow I can bag them up and I can get them in the freezer. Then tomorrow we will revisit what we're gonna do with 2 more packages of chicken. We're going to visit what we are going to do with 5 more pounds of hamburger, okay? So make sure you stick around. The video's not over here, but the video is over here for today. So I will come back and we'll get started and we'll bulk batch prep some more goodies to make life easier on us down the road. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I know I said I wasn't coming back tonight, but I thought I would show you. So here are the meatballs in the sauce. I'm only putting 9 in the sauce right now because that is all I'm going to need for the sandwiches I'm making tonight, right? So the rest of it I don't want to put in sauce just yet. So we are going to see how many meatballs we get, and then I'll decide if I want to put some of them in the sauce to freeze or if I just want to leave them all as meatballs. But these are really big. I will be cutting them in half when I put them on the buns. So that is what they look like in the sauce. There's what that chicken looks like. Yum yum. And this is what the meatballs look like just in the pan. So this is of course like melted off fat and cheese, but this is what the meatballs will look like to go in the pan if I don't put sauce on them. So, okay, just wanted to come back and give you a little peeky peek. And the potatoes are just hanging out in the air fryer, getting done. So, there you go. All right, y'all, there are my completed meatball subs. I've got the melted provolone cheese on them. And then there are our potatoes. I've already tasted these. They are delicious. I'm excited to dig into that. So that is from the first 2 pans of meatballs that came out. The second set are in the oven now. I'm gonna go get the boys and we're gonna eat dinner. All right, guys, so sadly I'm gonna have to end this video with some disappointment. Disappointing news and disappointment in items. So I went ahead and finished baking the rest of the chicken that I had. The other item I was going to prep for you guys and show you was how you could take pork loins, like center cut pork loins, and turn it into pork chops for at home. That's what I was going to do next. However, the ones that the store gave me were not very good quality, and so they went back to the store. I did not end up using them for pork chops. Like, you could see through the package that they were very fatty and like fat throughout, so it would not have made very good pork chops, right? So I wasn't gonna keep that for my family because we wouldn't have eaten them like that. So that went back. Tonight's dinner was just hamburger helper, just something super simple. My husband was like, you make all this delicious food and then you feed us hamburger helper. He was like, are we poor? Are we broke? I was like, whatever, we're not poor, we're not broke. He jokingly calls hamburger helper poor people food, but he loves hamburger helper. He's just being a goofball because he's used to me cooking something better than that, right? But we just had hamburger helper tonight. So the disappointing news, I went to see my husband's grandmother because we helped take care of her, and found out that my husband's dad, whose health has been declining for a while, it's gotten even worse. He's been hospitalized and now he's in a rehab facility. Apparently this has been going on for like 2 weeks, and this is the first we had been notified of it. And so that's a little disappointing. So trying to figure out the situation there and what's going on, and make sure that my husband gets the opportunity to go see him if he wants to. My husband was robbed of the opportunity to say goodbye to his grandfather before he passed away, and so I really don't want to see that be something that happens again, where he doesn't get an opportunity to be there if something were to happen. So that's a little disappointing. It's a little sad, but it is what it is, and I'm not entirely shocked by the situation, and there's a lot more I could say there, but that's pretty disappointing, and it's very hard right now not to just kind of blast people and say, I'm so disappointed in you, right? Like, they don't watch this channel, guys. They're not going to see this, but I'm so disappointed in people and their behavior, but it is what it is, and I'm, we just have to be accepting of that. So anyways, I'm going to stop the video here. I do apologize that it's coming out late. It's been a week. One of my coworkers is out, and I have had to fill in for them more than what was expected. And so that's been very chaotic. My husband had an employee come down from another location to work on a job with him. And so, and that other employee is like our best friend, which is nice. But so we've spent a lot of time hanging out with our best friend, and then we've had the other stuff going on. So anyways, I did get the chicken all prepped. It's all in the freezer, 12 meals worth of chicken. I've got the 6 meals worth of celery prepped and ready to go. After we had the meatball subs, we got 4 decent sized bags of meatballs that are prepped and in the freezer. And like I said, the pork loin went back. That's fine. The other 5 pounds of hamburger meat, I just ended up tossing straight into the freezer as they were. Like, I just didn't even have the time to deal with it with everything that's been going on. It has been a week, and I am ready for a weekend, that's for sure. One more day and we'll get to the weekend. So I hope you guys will enjoy the first part of that video. Again, I apologize that there wasn't a very good second part put together for it, but sometimes that's just how life goes. I've learned I can't control it, and so, I could hold off another week and film some more stuff and pretend like that was what the plan was, but it wasn't, and I'm not going to fake it for anybody. So it is what it is. So anyways, tomorrow I will be cooking at home again. I will be making some pork ribs and baked potatoes, I think. So we'll of course be filming that and bring that to you guys. I think I'm going to try making them in the Instapot and then broiling them. So come back tomorrow you know, which will be Saturday for you guys because you're seeing this video on Friday. And we will get back in the kitchen. We'll get back to cooking together. So, and that is, of course, if situations don't change before then. So I will try to catch up with you then. Have a great night. Bye.